Aye, so fucking drunk, back again with yet another attempt an ale review. What I'm going to do just now is the one and only, the infamous Newcastle Brown Ale Pit. 4.7 on a Richter scale for this. First brewed 1927 in Newcastle. This one is legendary. English beers. This one is in. Everyone has drunk this. Everyone in the UK at some point in their life, if they drink dark beers, has had a Newcastle Brown. Top draw stuff. Still, some people can't see past it. It was one of the beers I started drinking in my late teens. Got me into drinking darker beers. I've got a soft spot for it. So we'll get it open, see what it's all about. Get the bottle crown. The Newquay star on it, Newcastle star, Brown Ale star. As I said, it comes in a clear bottle. A lot of people drink this, they've got a lot of preferences. You get the older set, like to drink it straight off the shelf. And then you get the younger set, like to drink it chilled. I personally like to drink it, I've got mine's, as you can see at the side of the bottle, slightly chilled. It has been out of the fridge now for a good half an hour. It got a good chilling when it was in there, and it's starting to come up a little bit, but it's still got that nice little tinge, chilled tinge about it. So anyway, we're going to go in here for the pour of the Newcastle Brown Pit. We'll see what we can come up with. There we go. Nice dark colour. No point in I'm doing this pour because it's coming out of a clear bottle anyway. A bit daft. Lovely, lovely, lovely dark red ruby tinge about it. Lovely, lovely head, fluffy head on it. It's going to leave a little bit of lacing because the temperature of the beer is coming up. It's all about the nose. See what I can come up with. Let's see what I can come up with for the Newcastle Brown Ale. Right away you're getting what I love about Newcastle Brown Ale. You're getting that nuttiness about it. I'd even say a little bit of almond nut in there. Maybe a little sort of little pecan. You've got your caramel in there as well. Remember the infamous nut that everybody loves, didn't like, but when it was on top of your walnut whip, you always ate it. Of course, the old walnut whip, the walnut. Let's get a little trilogy of nuts going in there, but this stuff is legendary, absolutely legendary. So it's all about the taste. So fucking drunk. Getting in here for the Newcastle Brown Ale. 4.7 on a Richter scale. Cheers to you all, Pit. Slanjiva. I can remember it as if I was a teen. As I said, let's get that lovely, lovely caramel toffiness about it, and it's got the lovely, gritty, nutty taste that you get from it. This is a session beer, this is a man's beer, this will put hairs on your hairs. It's one of those ones, it's a stepping stone onto ales of any sort. I don't know what all these guys down south, further down south, start off to get onto the ale trail. But up here there was only two sort of like dark bottle beers that you could try. You had the Newcastle Brown and you had the Whitbread Pale Ale, which wasn't really a dark beer. Well, I suppose it was darker than a lager. And those were your sort of stepping stone onto your heavier beers. You had beers up here like McCoon's Export and stuff like that as well, which I suppose were good brews as well. I dare say there's a lot of guys down the north of England have had their hands on a Newcastle, obviously a Newcastle because that's their territory, but I bet they enjoyed a McCoon's Export as well. Very, very similar to the McCoon's Export as a stepping stone, good session beer. good solid beer to session on. As I said, brewed 1927 in Newcastle, moved to Gateshead, and then it moved to, I think it was Tadcaster 2010, I think the brewery. I may be a little bit off with my dates, but I think that's where it is now. It's not in Newcastle now at all. Went to Newcastle a good few years ago, and I was actually wanting to go and visit the brewery, and then someone said that the brewery's, is it Tadcaster, is that in Leeds or something? Is it, I don't know, Yorkshire? Said the brewery was in Yorkshire, Newcastle brewery in Yorkshire. Sounds a bit Irish, but allegedly that's where it is. Well, anyway, I'll put on the eye furniture, read the back of the bottle. I dare say everyone has read the back of the bottle at some point in their life. See what it says about the Newcastle. Fact, and it says here, right away it comes out with fact, nickname. Did you hear the Newcastle Brown is fictionally known as Dog by those in the know? I'm going to see a man about a dog. I'm going to take our dog for a walk. We're often used by the Geordie men for an excuse to visit the local to sample the beloved tipple. I'm off to sea. Newcastle Brown Ale contains barley and wheat. The brewery, yeah, there we go, Tadcaster, North Yorkshire. Absolutely, it is a top draw. It's a legend, this drink. Very much so. Very much a legend. That label as well, legendary. It was nice many years ago that they actually had their badge on the Newcastle United FC as well. It's that is good. That is good to see their home beers on the home shirt of the local team. I like to see more of that actually. Very, it is a legend, this stuff. I've got a fondness for this. I'll always will have a fondness for this, and I'll always revisit it. Newcastle Brown to me is a flashback, a cracking beer, a solid session beer, one of the best in England. It's really funny how you can't really get it on draft. That's the amazing thing about it. But I have tried this on draft. Many years ago, I was in Menorca, in an English bar in Menorca, and they had Newcastle Brown. But I did try it, but in all honesty, I'd been there for about a fortnight with the family. You know how it is, and you just get involved in the lager. And then one day, we went into this bar for something to eat. I saw Newcastle Brown on draft. I asked for a pint of it, I got a pint of it. I didn't enjoy it for simple reason is I'd been drinking lager and your taste buds are coated with the lager. I suppose I didn't do it justice. But I did see it again when I was in America. I was in this bar and I saw Newcastle Brown tap, and I did say, is that on draft? And she went, yes. The girl said, yes it is. And I said, oh, that's unbelievable. She said, would you like to try some? And I said, no, I'd actually like to try something else because it was in the States, and I ended up having, believe it or not, I ended up having a draft Duvel, which is a Belgian beer, which I thought, my God, look at that, that's on draft. I'll need to have one of them. So I missed out having a Newcastle Brown. So that's my little daft story finished. So anyway, if you see, we'll go back in here for a little taste before I go. Superb stuff. So anyway, if you see the Newcastle Brown Ale, you've always wondered about it, you've always fancied a dabble, have a dabble to it. It's a solid session ale, this. I'm going to give this a Sofa King Drunk rating out of, I'm going to give it a Sofa King Drunk rating of 8 out of 10 for the dog. It's a classic, buy it. So anyway, if you've had the dog, and I dare say a lot of yous have, drop a line below, and if not, get out there and buy some, because you don't know what you're missing. A solid classic Newcastle session ale. Ciao for now. Slangy Van. Hopefully Sofa King Drunk. I'll see you on another beer review. Bye for now.